Will I make it? Will I take it to the top? We gon' see. It's the last chance for you. Last chance for me. It's the last chance for you. Last chance for me. It's the last chance for you. Last chance for me. Will I make it? Will I take it to the top? We gon' see. It's the last chance for you. Last chance.
What up, what up? Another Slapdick podcast coming at you, episode 22. We got a special guest in the house. My main man Spree on the phone with me, on the show with me, and then we got a guest coming in. Makes it's real easy to introduce him once you guys understand who he is, and he goes by the name of Quincy Avery. Give it up. Quincy, what's going on, man? I appreciate you coming on, man, onto the Slapdick podcast that we just started up, man, and I really do appreciate it, man. I don't know much about you, besides watching you here and there, man, and Jordan Palmer kind of hit me to you, and I know, man, real recognizes real. That's one thing that is kind of goes around the world that we kind of come from. Just seeing you and seeing how passionate you are, talking to kids and the babies and doing those things, kudos to you, brother, and much love. And I appreciate you coming on and and being here.
For sure, man. I appreciate y'all having me on. Definitely a pleasure.
No doubt. I appreciate it. Man, give the crowd and everybody out there a little background, man. I know you're a quarterback guy and a quarterback coach and a motivator, and you do a lot of these things. Kind of give your what kind of got you started in this, and kind of give everyone your background, where you're from, and how you got started in this biz.
For sure. I'm a quarterback instructor. I work with a lot of NFL quarterbacks currently. Right now I'm in the process of training Jalen Hurts for the draft and a couple other college guys. I work with probably 40 to 50 college quarterbacks right now. Come see me on their various breaks between summer, spring break, whenever they get a weekend off. And I run 2 big high school camps. I get about 100 kids each in Atlanta and Los Angeles. And I work with probably 200 to 300 other high school quarterbacks between Atlanta, Charlotte, and Houston. But I got into this thing. I'm the son of a coach. My dad used to coach in the NFL, college. Always been around the game. Fell in love with it. Played my college career at Morehouse College. Got done with that. Drove out to UCLA and sat on the couch trying to get a job.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No doubt. And so now you're just doing individual coaching, individual drills, quarterback camps, and clinics.
Yeah, okay. That is my life, living in the quarterback world.
Got you. How old are you, brother?
I'm 33.
Okay. No doubt.
Young buck still.
Yeah, hell yeah. No doubt. Shit. Man. Hey, kudos to you for getting the jump start on this thing that we call life, man. Shit. It's hard out there, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I'm trying to get it rolling. I've lived out of my car for 4 of my 33 years, so I kind of tried to work and just grind my way to it.
Hey, we got something in common, brother. I appreciate the passion, man. And not a lot of people do it. They all want shit handed to them nowadays. It's just fucking unbelievable. But, hey, I appreciate it, man. There's a lot of insight. We got a lot to talk about, man. Watching you, I saw you on ESPN the other day talking about the black quarterback situation, and we'll get into all that, man. That seems like the big topic. I hate bringing this shit up because it's been so it's unbelievable to me. But, the black quarterback's getting all this notoriety and shit, man. And before that, to me, it goes to the black coach, the black athletic director at the NCAA level, and then ultimately black ownership in the NFL. I think that shit needs to be fixed before people start talking about the black quarterback, because, correct me if I'm wrong here, there's been black quarterbacks around, man, since before I was born. And the LA Rams had a great one, man, by the name of James Harris in '74. This cat went to the Pro Bowl and was the MVP of the game. And the Steelers had a cat named Joe Gilliam, who arguably was robbed Super Bowl rings by Terry Bradshaw. So, and then obviously we got the Doug Williams of the world, the Warren Moons, the list goes on. But one of my best friends in the world, 2 of them actually, Darian Hagan at Colorado and Jamel Holloway, along with Charlie Ward, you can argue were the 3 best college quarterbacks of their time, especially running the option anyway. Basically never playing it down in the NFL. and being screwed out of some things. And you know what I mean? And you can argue they're the Mahomes, the Cam Newtons, and the Deshaun Watsons of today. And then you got Vic that came along right after the Randall Cunningham era. And you also had a cold white boy by the name of Steve Young that would drop it and tuck it and run too. And, you know, people overemphasize, I think, that just now there's black quarterbacks. I think me and Jordan Palmer were on the phone. We were talking about this the other day. Like, you know, he believed it was going to turn into a black position. You know, shit, years ago there was no black linebackers, and then there was no black safeties, and then now, you know, the league is black. So I mean, to me, it's just it's a stereotypical bullshit type of excuse that the media uses. But at the same time, you know, what's your thoughts, man? I mean, my era, me and Spree's era growing up, we were in the era where we played with some freaks. I mean, we're talking about NFL dudes that you'll never hear their name because they're living in the car right now to this day or in the street. And they were told...
Or gone.
Yeah, dead or buried or in jail. But they were told, you're not smart enough. Or then the era came that you can't read the defense. Then the era of the height came in. Like Charlie Ward, you're not tall enough. So, okay, so I just go fucking play in the NBA for fucking 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't make no sense, man. And so how much, bullshit can someone come up with and then you got the Rooney Rule and all this different stuff. I don't know if you know my background, but I'm from Compton and I grew up in this whole thing kind of being on the outside looking in compared to the inside looking out. And I'm just shocked on all this deal. And I don't know what your thoughts. I found it fascinating. I kind of watched your show the other day when you were on with Jalen and the lady. I'm not sure her name. I think she's an agent. But how what's your take on this whole thing, man?
Yeah. So my thought is kind of the same in that it needs to start with more representation in the front office between head coaches, GMs, and those type of things that you kind of need to see more minorities in to continue to change those perceptions that some people may have. I know a lot of us don't have those, but there's still some people who are higher up who don't necessarily want a black quarterback in the same way that they'd be open to having somebody else.
Bill Polian,
yeah. Because there's plenty. There's talented black dudes and talented white dudes.
No doubt.
Well, we could just start looking at it for simply somebody just playing a position. I can't wait till we get to the point where we don't have to talk about
no doubt
a black quarterback. Like we had to talk about Lamar being a black quarterback because of so much of what people were saying about what he couldn't do.
Right.
And it came off in a way that made people think it was because he was black.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some things that I think Lamar could have done a little bit better in his pre-draft process to eliminate some of these concerns. So there's some things on his end he could have done better. But it's hard just when we know that there's some people have a negative connotation based upon that. Like you said, some people just say, oh, they may not be smart or they may not be this or that. One of the big things when I got so big into talking about black quarterbacks, I trained Deshawn Watson, and he went through that experience of last year or 2 years ago versus Tennessee Titans. He ends up scrambling or something like that. Just play with 13 seconds left, goes down the field, complete to Hopkins, but the clock runs out. And the superintendent of the school went on to say, that's why you can't ever trust a black quarterback to make smart decisions.
Wow.
So he said something like that, and that's somebody who works in the school system who said that about somebody who's a black quarterback. So I know that there's still a ways to go for us to continue to overcome some of the stereotypes, but I also know that we have a lot of black representation at the quarterback position in the NFL right now.
Right.
Probably 4 of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league right now are black. So we're making strides, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's something that I look forward to one day us to have to think about in the same way.
Say it again.
A black and a linebacker or a black free safety.
It's like
that's one thing we could do.
Yeah, it's like saying like the black running back. Like shit, the black running back. I mean, shit, they've been around. It's rare to have a white running back. You know, we just happen to have a cold motherfucker right now playing. You know, McCaffrey, but you know, you got Danny Woodhead, a couple white kids out there, but you know, that's a rare thing. You know, like E40 said, it's rare like white running back. But you know, back in the day, growing up, for me, Steve Largent was a big time receiver. You know, for the Seahawks, and there's a white boy was slow, and then Jerry Rice was right there with them. wasn't much faster, and then it's just BS, man.
Stereotype. We've been living with that for a long time.
Living with that for a long time.
I never did like a middle linebacker, a white boy middle linebacker. I was like, that shit ain't right. So me and Coach Brown used to have that little.
I used to like white boy. Where I grew up, I used to say, we need the white boy linebacker, man. We need the nasty white boy have dip in his mouth, spitting on motherfucker. I was like, we need the nasty white boy middle linebacker. The brothers need to be on the outside. Again, stereotype. I'm stereotyping motherfuckers saying they more athletic on the edge. The slow white boy in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Again, we stereotyping. So,
hey, but even what was the linebacker said he had to keep up with the brothers. He had to take him some roids and shit. Play for Denver.
Yeah, Romanowski.
Yeah.
Who fucking spit on fucking T.O. or it was the receiver that played UCLA for all them years. Not Flipper Anderson, the cat after him played for the Rams for a while.
I forgot.
Stokes, JJ Stokes.
Oh, JJ Stokes, yeah.
Remember that? Remember Romanowski spit on him? Yeah. So I mean, it's crazy.
We grew up with that stigma,
That stigma. It's just some bullshit. I saw your post today, man, on Twitter. I know. I don't know if you know, me and Darren Hagan are a real good friend. We grew up together, so did B&me, and I know that staff really well. I've talked to a lot of them today. Plus, I got 2 players there. Everybody's shocked. I saw your deal. I don't think Eric's going back. There's a reason he left UCLA. There's a reason he went to Colorado and never unpacked his shit in the house and left again to the Vikings. But I think he's at the level he wants to be at. And I do agree with your post. I think what probably is a step back going to Colorado for him. Why risk it? You're right there at the door. Fucking stick it out. You're with one of the best head coaches with the most, the biggest reputation for helping brothers out in the coaching world. Him and Bruce Arians, arguably.
And you got a cold quarterback there.
You got a cold QB, and you got the coldest weapons. I mean. Shit,
He'd be a fool to go to Colorado.
Yeah,
quarterback. It would be a foolish move on his part. I don't know Eric Kennedy at all.
Yeah.
But if I did, I'd text him like, "Hey man, don't do it."
His ass will do it if they pay him $6-7 million a year like they did your boy.
He'll make that as he makes a couple right now as OC.
Get some of that booster money. He'll go back.
Yeah, it's just crazy, man. I got some questions. That's some real shit, man. I wanted to holler at you about because I real recognize it's real, man. I don't know if you know the situation. Ohio State had 2 brothers arrested and charged with rape, kicked off the team the other day. I don't know if you know that. It hasn't hit a lot of news, but it's out there. I got a player there, and so I've dealt with this for a long time. I've done this I've sent 225 plus guys Division I, 27 in the NFL. I've had 8 in the Super Bowl at the same time. I've done some things a lot of people haven't done. At the same time, I've never had a kid get kicked out of a 4-year when he leaves me. I've never had a kid get arrested when he leaves me, and I've never had a cat accused or arrested or charged with rape or assault under my watch. Now, knock on wood, kudos. I'm not trying to boast or whatever, but I think there is some meat and potatoes to my discussion here. I don't think that these coaches who make these millions of dollars, proof in the pudding, Tucker, I like Tucker, and I've known him a long time, but he left after signing day, after he makes a tweet, and I know he's taking shit and getting bashed. I'm not mad at the brother because he's a brother that got a big-time job and got double the salary, and I'm like, fuck.
I think there's some things he could have managed better, though.
He can. No question.
Not leaving.
No question.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
me and Spree just talked about that.
Like, I'm always open to any opportunity that comes my way. I got to evaluate it for what's best for me and my family.
No doubt.
And go from there. Everybody can respect that. I have a hard time with saying I'm definitely not leaving.
And that's a part of the discussion. Me and Spree were just talking about arguing. The brother will get a negative content. He'll have a negative rap in the paper. He's going to take a beating. But then you've had Saban say the exact same fucking thing and go to Miami Dolphins. Or leave there and go back to Alabama. I'm staying here, and the next day you're in Alabama. So, it's about the content and how the context, and how you say it or when you say it. And I think Mel fucked himself by saying that, being with some influential people last night in a meeting at Colorado with some boosters, and then even as early this morning was on the phone with kids. So I mean,
But I'm like, well, fuck. Yeah. I mean, they don't give a fuck about you though.
Nah,
I mean, what I'm saying,
right.
I don't blame him. Fuck the boosters. Fuck Colorado. It's just the kids. I've been through that. With the kids coming in and they, coming into a coach and they think you there, the pillar. You know what I'm saying? And you just kind of that's for the for me it's the kids.
Yeah, I really wouldn't even feel bad for the kids if they could leave in the same way that coach could leave.
Right.
If they could leave like he just left. Then who are we to say anything? Then I'd be picking up and packing my shit up and getting out in the same way.
Yeah.
So
that's the rough part.
If they afforded the kids the same afford the kids the same freedom before these dudes are getting paid.
They need to
$5-6 million a year.
Yeah, they need to because the coaches don't make this cheese without those kids. Just so everybody's clear. And the colleges don't make that money, and they don't get libraries, they don't get computer labs, they don't get fucking 100,000 in the crowd in the stands every year. The last time I checked, 100,000 people didn't come watch a math exam. Yeah. So my thing is that is what fuels these people, and obviously there's a reason the head football coach makes 10 times as much as the president of the institution. And there's reasons for that. And people don't like to discuss those things, but it's mostly, and let's just be real, it's mostly black kids that are out there paying these motherfuckers this big money. And so for him, we recruit mostly black kids now. Let's be real. And you go out and you tell these kids this thing and that, and you leave. I mean, it is what it is. Each his own. I'm not bashing Mel because I don't know the situation. I know he spent some time up there. I know he was at Ohio State. He knows that northern region. There's a lot of good football up there. I love recruiting Detroit and Ohio. But they're tough, steel-milled kids. I mean, I love the area. But my thing is, the reason I have a beef with the whole situation is, like, I've talked to a couple coaches. I ain't gonna say their name this morning, that are there, buddies of mine, but you were only there a year. You went 5 and 7, and you were there 1 year. Now, if you were there 3 years, I agree with Spree, and you say they were gonna fucking fire me anyway. Fuck them, I'm out. But you were there a year, and I still agree with Spree a little bit. At the same time, fuck them, I'm get out before. But at the same time, you're building something. You tweeted that shit out, which makes it worse. I mean, I know about tweets. But so it's crazy. But going back to my question to you, and it kind of relates to this whole Mel Tucker and Colorado deal. The Ohio State kids get kicked out after I explain my situation, never having a kid get kicked out, et cetera, rape charge, whatever. Is there a disconnect, in your opinion, with these millionaires who are coaches and these kids? I'm not going to say black kids or white kids. I think it's kids in general. Is there a disconnect because they're easily persuaded to leave that kid in that school for another school, and there's a lack of investment in the kid? I've seen it. I'm telling you my thought. I guarantee you, I 100% agree with what I'm saying, and I think that is the truth, because I've had 20,000 times worse kid. Like, I've had the worst kid in the world play for me, the worst of the worst, that I've still sent on to major Power Fives and to the NFL and taught them because I invested, I had them. I think there's a huge discussion here to be had, but I'm wondering your thought, because two Ohio State
about kids goes a long way.
Yeah.
And just being invested in them as a person. I can't say anything bad about Ohio State's coach, just because I've got a good relationship with him, and I think that he does.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that every single time in every situation that he correlates, but I think that you end up creating a good track record when you do care about guys. You invest in them. They know that you really care about them as a person. They're going to do the same for you to make sure they take care of the program that they're leaving behind, and they know that you're putting them in a good position to not only be successful on the field, but successful in their next steps. So I think that is important that these coaches, but that's one of the reasons that I got them coaching in the traditional sense.
Right.
Is because I wanted to just get like suits for guys so they could have interviews when they got done in college. And they didn't have that same vision.
Yep.
They were just like, that's not a job, that's not what we're here for. And I'm like,
no doubt.
You guys don't care about the kids.
Nope.
You don't care about what they're doing after this.
Yep.
And on that team, we had a lot of guys who rebelled against that coaching staff. The administration, it was because of the little things. We didn't go out of our way to show the kids that we cared, take an extra step. And in turn, they want to do those things for you. And then when they're in tough situations, they don't necessarily make those bad decisions. They give you a call.
Yep.
Maybe you can help them out. Maybe they were drunk. They let you know because they know you care about them and they know you'll go get them.
Yep.
Rather than making those bad decisions.
No question. I've had it happen. Trust me. I know. I get those calls. I tell them, you better fucking call an assistant or me or whoever.
Right.
But you gotta have a relationship for that kid to run through that wall for you, or he'll say fuck you too and make a left at the stop sign and not make a right. But my thing is, and I'm not bashing Day or any of those guys. I'm just saying in general. You've had it happen at Baylor. You've had it happen at different places, Indiana, fucking Miami. I mean, you name it, it's happened. It's just, is it in your estimation that the coach is looking for the next big payday and don't really have time to talk to 100 kids on his team every year and build that relationship year in, year out? When they're really there, let's really put time on this thing. If you're talking about Power 5 coaches, they're let's say a year and a half. I mean, that's really what the time frame is. You're a year and a half, and you don't even go through a recruiting cycle. Like, you don't even go through a class. So,
yeah, man. A lot of these college coaches are honestly just shitty people.
No question.
Really,
no doubt.
I think
let's be real.
They're just shitty people, and they've done whatever they could to get ahead. Like, just becoming a Power 5 coach, it takes a lot of effort. There's a lot of backstabbing that goes into it, throwing other people on the bus so that you can work your way up the system.
Yep.
A lot of that stuff, the people who end up getting in some of these positions are a lot of times just bad people. Well, yeah,
and they can't fucking coach. They couldn't hold my nutsack when it comes to coaching. So that's the cold part about it. And everybody, I tell them straight in their face in my damn office too. Like, you motherfuckers are horrible. And how you got a job is fucking unbeknownst to me. And shame on the damn president and the AD, because they're fucking horrible too, because they don't do any fucking research or background. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, let's just recycle the same motherfucker that got fired at Baylor. Let's bring his ass over here. And it's like, it's just unbelievable to me why they don't pay a guy. Let's just say, like you, like me, there's a ton of friends I got. Let's pay them $500,000, make them prove their worth, put them on a year-to-year, give them $1 million or $2 million staff pool, and let's see, go get him good assistants, and let's see if he's worth it. But you want to pay a dude off $17 million to leave your fucking place to rehire another motherfucker that just made the same amount of money at a different place who still did not win. I mean, let's be real about it. There's only 2 or 3 coaches that are Power 5 guys that you can really say are worth the money. Nick, Dabo, and you really can't say Ed yet. And I'm good friends with Ed, but like, Ed's gonna have to win again this year, or he's a one-hit wonder. You know what I'm saying? And let's be real. And you could even say, and I'm good friends with James Franklin. Like, is James really that elite guy? I mean, he hasn't done it yet. Like, so there's really only a couple dudes, man, that everybody else is fucking recyclable, and they're the same old cat. Like, they don't win. They don't dominate or turn it over. Like, you can argue that at least if there were better cats out there hustling a little harder, you would make it harder on Dabo and Nick in the recruiting world. At least grab one of the 5-star kids or these 3-star kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're getting them all. It makes no sense to me. You got Kirby getting kids at Georgia, but I'm just saying, like, it's a crazy world. It's a different world, man. I'm just gonna tell you, since I played, and I mean, you're 10 years younger than me, but still, it's pretty much the same era. And I don't think
vibration.
I don't think that that these kids are really getting invested in by these coaches because they're so eager to leave, and we saw it today, and unfortunately. So, what's your thoughts, man, on the Dak Prescott deal? Is he worth the money?
The reason I think that he's worth the money is because of what guys are going to be getting paid very, very shortly after he gets his contract.
So you're saying the marketplace, the market's set.
Yeah, you work whatever, the market says that you're worth, and he'll be a top 12 quarterback that affords you the ability to get $35 million a year.
Right.
Which is what it is. Like, I'm not the one who's going to go and table pound and say, I think Dak's great. I think he's a good quarterback.
Right.
I think he's better than Kirk Cousins, and he's getting 30 and some change. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You're worth what the market says you're worth.
Right.
Now that's what it is. And I know that Mahomes and Deshawn are probably going to be going close to $40 million. If I was Dak, I think that $30 million would be a slap in the face. So, I don't think I'm $10 million cheaper than these guys.
See, I would argue, and I'm not a Kirk Cousins fan, but I would argue, why is he better? Kirk Cousins won a playoff game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just keeping it real. Like my thing is with Dak, and no offense to Dak or whatever, you're leaving the Troy Aikman era. I'm a Troy Aikman guy, so obviously you're trying to live up to him. And then you had Tony Romo, who had a great skill set, but just didn't have the it factor, in my opinion. He couldn't win the game. So then you have Dak comes along, who's got a good skill set and stuff, but like I don't know what he's done differently than anyone else, or maybe even the top 3 or 4 college guys coming up. I mean, I think the NFL quarterback play is very average or below average as a whole, and I think Mahomes set the bar so high that I don't think you can pay Dak that money. I don't think you can, because Dak's not going to get paid $35 million by any other fucking team in the league. Let's be real. No one else is going to pay him that money. So who else is going to pay him? Who else is going to pay him $35, dog? Let's be real.
I'm trying to think who
needs
I bet the Bucks will pay him 35.
Nah, they already got Jameis the same type of cat to me. I mean, they're very similar. I don't know why.
Hell no.
Let me tell you this. Do you think that Bruce is eager to get rid of Jameis?
I don't. I actually think Jameis is a solid quarterback.
Me too.
He turned the ball over too much. I think he has it.
That's young. Yeah.
But James is probably gonna get. He can't get franchise this year. He's gonna get 30.
Yeah, but I bet you Bruce will keep him over trying to get Dak. I bet you Bruce has. Bruce knows what he has. Like he's long, he's big,
I bet the Chargers would love to have Dak at 34.5 this year.
Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. The Rams would love to have him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My team.
How much is Jared Goff getting?
Shit.
Jared Goff is like 33.4.
Yeah,
so you're definitely not going to pay me less than Jared Goff.
Right.
That's where I started.
See, I just think that they set the bar too high for these average scrub cats. I mean, I'm not a golf guy.
No.
Yeah, that's the cool part.
Yeah.
But it's like that's what the market is now. Once you gotta say these sorry do that, you know what I'm saying? Right. I gotta get mine.
No, I hear you. I just fuck, man, it's tough. I don't know. People are bad. I don't know what they're gonna do. Are they? They're talking about Brady and trading Dak. I mean, it's interesting,
that's
man.
Some bullshit. That's a slap in the face, man. When Dallas got the money to pay whatever, I wouldn't even want to play there no more if I was fucking Dak Prescott.
Nah, you got.
I wouldn't even want to play there, even if you fucking paid me $50 million a year.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Just on GP.
Yeah, I don't.
Just on GP.
I'm gonna take shit though. I don't want to deal with y'all, but I am because I get that extra Dallas Cowboy endorsement money too.
Yeah,
right. Give me all that.
It's too much money being a U.S. America's team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's.
I argue this, man. I argue this with you, and you know it better than me. You deal with these guys. I argue that there's 3 cats worth the money. I say it's Tom Brady because of the rings on his finger. I still think Tom's a system guy. I don't know if the system makes him or he makes a system. I think he's a system guy, but he's one though. So, people were saying, my boy Marcellus, who I had on this show, and we grew up together, Wiley, him and Jason Whitlock were talking yesterday that Tom Brady is a downgrade from Dak. I don't agree, only for the simple fact that Dak has done nothing. Tom Brady has a reputation, a historical one at that. I don't think you can get worse with Tom, even at 43, which he'll be in August. But
I really believe in Tom.
No, I don't. I'm saying
that's the great white hope. You know what I'm saying? Fuck Tom.
Hey, Quinn.
I remember when you just did that about Peyton Manning too, and then whatever that second year in Denver, he just fell off a cliff.
Yep.
There's one point where Tom Brady just could fall apart. I think
no doubt.
I think he played pretty well this year. I'm not gonna say he played bad.
No doubt,
he didn't have anything around him,
but he had nothing around him. Yeah.
They might be like worse, but
let's be real. Jerry Jones wants what? Yeah.
He wants one ring before he died.
Yep, and Tom Brady get you one, like Peyton got Denver one. I mean, there's a strong opinion there. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is my 3 that's worth it, though. I think Tom Brady's worth it because he's one only. Okay, me, Ray Lewis, and Eddie George had this conversation in depth and in person, smoking a cigar a while back. We all said if he was in the AFC Central, AFC West, NFC West, NFC East, even, he's not the same guy. All right, we agree. I think he gets beat up by the Ravens and the Steelers every year, or the Colts and the Denver and the Raiders. I mean, it just depends if he was there. He was in the weakest conference of all time for his duration of his career. So He's won though. I think you got to lean on that because of the rings, and so Tom Brady's one that would be worth the money. I say Aaron Rodgers is 2 because of his skill set. I think is still right up there. I don't know if he'll win another one, but he's up there. And then I think Mahomes obviously now. So I don't know if anyone else is worth that money, but you paying Goff, like you said, you're paying these dudes this money and Cousins and fucking Wentz. To me, Wentz is the most overrated motherfucking whole NFL. I mean, that's just straight up. I think Wentz is overrated as shit. So
Wentz hasn't even won a playoff game.
He is overrated as shit, and I don't know why people still swing from the cat nuts. I don't understand it, but that's
because Dan Orlovsky likes him. So that means
shit,
that,
he's another slapper. Yeah, I mean, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think those are the 3 guys, and after that, I think everybody else you could throw in the fucking middle of the lake and pick them out and be solid with them with a good team around you. I mean, it is what it is. But where's your stance with paying these cats, man, in NCAA?
You got to get these dudes some checks. I don't know how you're going to do it.
Right.
I think that, people always say, like, it would create a larger gap. I'm not sure that it would because you can get that 5-star kid, a school coach on, like, we're about to max you out.
Mm-hmm.
However much money we can pay you, we're going to pay you.
Mm-hmm.
And they could give them more than they could give to somewhere else. All the facilities would end up getting closer to the same because people would stop putting all this dumbass money in the facilities.
No doubt.
Right? They're not going to spend $100,000 on a slip and slide at Clemson anymore. They're going to put it in the kids' pocket.
Yep.
So there'd be a couple of those top kids who are going to different schools just because that school has more money budgeted for them.
No doubt.
But I think they got to get paid. There's no reason that everybody else involved in college sports should get paid, and then not. And I don't want to hear about Title IX, this or that. Pay the people who are bringing in the money, fair market value, like every other thing in the country. We pay everybody else with the work load, they shouldn't get it.
Right. So let me ask you this. There's all this talk, man. Do you know Ramon Robinson?
Yeah. No.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Carolina, right?
Yep. He's a good friend of mine, man. That's where I recruit him a lot. We talk a lot of philosophy stuff, and obviously I was raised up and used to coach for Steve Clarkson, obviously out here. So years ago, we don't see eye to eye no more, but that's a whole other thing. But it is what it is, man. But I saw that LeVar Arrington gave a shout out to Ramon the other day on Fox and Clarkson and these other quarterback guys. I don't know if he said your name or not, but I think he said what's my man's name? What's the other cat? What's my other cat's name? The one at Whitfield, George. George
Whitfield.
Yeah. George. So, he mentioned some cats, and that was good of him. I thought that recognizing cats that's out there doing things like you and Jordan and cats individualized coaching, I thought it was a big deal for LeVar to say. But, it's interesting, man, out there. Like, it's just crazy. There's 2 things thinking about this NCAA pay thing. There's paying them for their duration of their scholarship, which is 10 semesters or 5 years, just like a scholarship would. And then there's the likeness deal. See, I'm against the likeness deal. My good friend Ed O'Bannon is the reason this has all come up. We played high school basketball together at Artesia. So he started the suit with the NCAA, obviously, for the NCAA game and all that. But, I think if you pay the likeness part of it and the kid gets hurt, who the fuck's going to buy the kid's jersey? Nobody gives a fuck about the guy that gets hurt. So let's pay them for their 10 semesters or their 5 years like they're due on a scholarship, and then you fluctuate the 5-star, the 3-star, because most 5-stars we all know are pretty shitty at the end of the day. The Super Bowl had like 2 5-stars in the game. So let's be real and break it down that way, and let's pay them for the duration of their scholarly, and then you do it like a D2 model, and you base it up on scholarships, and you work it that way, how much money each guy gets. But you pay for the likeness, man. I'm scared that a kid gets hurt, blows out his knee, his NFL career is done, number one. Now he has to beg the coach to be a grad assistant or something to get in the business. And then his jersey sales they're done. And nobody's going to buy his jersey anymore or buy anything else because they've forgotten. And, it's a what have you done for me lately business. world that we live in. So I'm for the pay straight up. I'm not for the likeness deal. So we'll see in 2 years how it unfolds. But I think they do need to get paid because these coaches are making millions, the institutions are making billions, and you get millions just to go to a BCS bowl game. So, and the school eats that money up pretty well. I mean, you're building computer labs, academic buildings, et cetera, with that money. It's not just people think it just goes to football and build a new slip and slide at Clemson. You know what I mean? That's not how it works. But there's Title IX and there's everything else involved, as we know. So, but I don't know, man. It's interesting. We're going to see how it goes. But so what do you got going? Do you work with Jordan Palmer or Carson or any of them?
Nah. I'm on my own.
Okay.
Know those guys well.
Yeah.
Talk to them a good bit.
Yeah.
But I've been running my own shop since 2011.
Yeah.
And been just growing.
No doubt. We got to link up, man, and hook up, man. I'd be interested to sit down with you, man. And when are you in LA again?
I'll be in LA in I actually got to go up there in like 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. Shit. Well, how long you out here for?
I'll be out there. What am I about there for? I'll be out there for 1 day, actually.
Okay, got you.
Coming in, getting out.
I got you. Well, we'll have to hook up, man. We'll stay in touch. I got a. Have you seen the show Better with Age?
Nah.
About Drew Bledsoe?
Nah.
The E60 piece, the little E60 joint. Man, you should watch it, man. Do you think Drew Bledsoe's a Hall of Famer?
No, I don't. But I guess if Eli's a Hall of Famer, he's not a Hall of Famer. He can't be, right?
Anything's possible.
I mean,
Eli's in there.
Well, Eli won 2 Super Bowls, fellas. That cats you gotta understand. I was telling this cat Spree the other day, Quincy. Eli has a resume that 90% of today's NFL quarterbacks will never have. Think about how cold that is. What I just said is cold game, bruh. 90% of the quarterbacks playing right now will never have the fucking resume Eli Manning has, bruh. Think about it, homie.
I don't disagree.
Is Terrell Owens in?
Eli was the reason. He wasn't the reason the team was winning a lot of those games.
Yeah.
But he wasn't. He wasn't Trent Dilfer either with Ray Lewis on defense, and he throws one pop pass to Shannon Sharp for a 99-yard touchdown, and only asked to throw the ball 3 times. You know what I'm saying? Eli threw the ball 30 times. 25, 30 times in both Super Bowls. So, I mean, it wasn't like he was being handcuffed like that. I mean, and if you think about it, Victor Cruz was one of his wideouts. He had, who'd he have? Fucking Shepard.
Who's Tyree?
Tyree is another one. They were good, but I mean, they're not T.O., Randy Moss, fucking, they're not those type of guys. I mean,
put T.O. in and then talk to me about fucking Manning.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Let's start with that, man. I hate that shit.
Remember, though, quarterbacks are always going to have, just like Heisman Trophy, bro, quarterbacks are going to be the guy that gets the edge. I mean, I don't give a fuck what you say. I don't care what color you are. Quarterback's going to get the Heisman. Quarterback's going to get the MVP. Quarterback's going to get in the Hall of Fame.
That's bullshit, too. I don't know why.
I mean, I don't know if you agree, Quincy, but quarterback's going to have the edge on getting in. It is the hardest position of all sports, so let's be real.
Middle backer is.
That is a fact.
So, I mean, people ranked the top 5 hardest positions years ago. I remember that. It was quarterback was 1. I think fucking DB, I think, was actually 2. And then I think it was like point guard. And then I think it was like center. And then I think it was like hockey goalie or some shit. I remember this was like 10, 12 years ago. I remember some guys did a study, and I thought it was pretty funny. But I know quarterback is by far the hardest position to play. And you either go to the hero, brother. You know how that goes. So, it is what it is, man. But nah, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming on, Quincy. Man, we have to do it again, man. And maybe it'll be around. Before we leave, what's your thoughts on the XFL?
I think the XFL is going to be. I think it has a chance to be here for about 2 or 3 years. So enough time for some guys to make a couple $, but it ain't going to stay long unless they can figure out how to get the guys coming straight from high school to go to the XFL and really create some buzz, or steal a couple of freshmen and sophomores from the college ranks.
Really, that's interesting. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, that is.
I think. Well, I got lucky enough to be part of the interview process. Obviously, I was up for a job before all my little bullshit happened. So I was up for one of the gigs there, and I got to see the breakdown in the inner workings of it. And Vince is no dummy. Obviously, he did it the 1 year, and it lasted 1 year because he tried to compete with the NFL, which we know is a no-no. I think they've got 7 to 9 years sustainability with this plan and the model that they've done, and I saw it from the inside out, so I have a bias because I saw it. I'd be surprised if it didn't last at least 5, but I think it's a much better thought-out model this time around, and I think America has enough good football players that I think it can be sustained. The talent level on the field, I mean, I got a few players playing in it, isn't bad, man. Them dudes were walking around, running around full go, trying to knock your head off because obviously they're trying to get that league shot, but also there's a couple college kids, that transfer portal kids that set out and said, fuck it, I played my 3 that are playing in the league right now and can still get drafted in April. So, there's a few good things about it, and I think the marketability of it, the market piece of everything you see is XFL right now, and I think they're doing a hell of a job with that. So I know he spent some money on it. I know he's got ESPN, Fox, and ABC. I mean, those are 3 conglomerates that the AAF didn't have. That type of shit. Arena League. And
it's coach well. It's coach well.
Yeah.
It looks like good football. So I mean, I like watching it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I just think you need to figure out how to get the viewers locked in and find things that they really like.
First week, I mean, it had higher rating than the NBA, but that's always going to be. When you got the WWF, WWE owner Vince McMahon, he's going to have that first few weeks of eye candy. But I try to tell people, a lot of people don't think about shit. We also had great weather for the first week that you could possibly have in the United States. I mean, the East Coast was 41 degrees in D.C. and New York. I mean, usually this time it's snowing flurries, and you're going to have shit games. You know what I'm saying? So it helped the XFL in that regard as far as the viewership. So I think, we'll see, man. It's going to be interesting. LA plays at home this week at the Home Depot Center, and he fired Pepper Johnson, my boy. He fired after game 1. And I got a few players there, so I know some insight. I'm not going to blast nobody, but, it is what it is. But
are you a quarterback coach? Did you check out some of the quarterbacks, and did you critique them, on your own? What you think about the quarterback play?
I like the guy who came from, was it PJ Walker, who's with the Indianapolis Colts?
Temple kid? Yeah,
Temple dude. I like watching him. I'm surprised that they started Aaron Murray instead of the Flowers guy at USF. Yeah, we'll see if he makes a change with that. But those are the only 2 games I really watch.
Okay.
Jordan Tamu, he's a kid at St. Louis. He's a Polynesian kid I recruited out of Hawaii. He, when I was at Garden City, he's a kid that played decent. St. Louis team that they beat Dallas, Bob Stoops' team. But other than that, it's pretty average. I mean, shit. It is what it is. You're not going to get the fucking first-round Heisman kid. You're going to get the kid that got cut or didn't even have a shot at the league. You know what I mean? So that's what makes it exciting to me, though. I think you can run RPO. I think you can run some triple. I think you can do things that the NFL won't do as much of. You know what I'm saying? So I think you can still run college systems and be successful. Plus, the 25-second clock makes you go fast. So I think even though the games are still 3 hours, let's make no mistake about it. I think it's helping the game as far as the NFL is going to see things and maybe adopt some of those rules, obviously, that I think they will do. The kickoff, the 2-point, 3-point, 1-point play, shit. I mean, there's some things.
Do you think, the quality, though, you say quality because you didn't make it to the league. Shit, we didn't make it to the league. We were some cold motherfuckers coming up. You know what I'm saying? I never get that. It don't look like the league, motherfucker. Every motherfucking league cat didn't make it to the league. That pisses me off too.
But what I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying. To Quincy's point, I think America has a lot of good football players, and I think it could be sustained. But I also agree with Quincy saying that they're going to have to try it other ways. You're going to still have to be out 3 years, in my opinion, to go to a professional league like the XFL. Out of high school because of the injury, concussion.
And most fans don't even know what really good football is.
No doubt.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They just want to see people get hit. So if people hard enough, and they might watch it.
Or a long touchdown run or catch or whatever. They don't know the ins and outs of it, but
it was a few cats out of shape. I heard some announcers talking about a couple guys out of shape, but shit, they just fucking started 2 months ago. Come on. The league been around for 100 years. Come on now. Let's be real.
You got a boy throwing up at the line of scrimmage in the slot and shit for Houston,
But that'll get better, like you said, if it stays around for 5 years. That'll get way better.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting, man. But what's your next venture, man? You got anything going on, Quincy?
Nah, man, I got a camp coming up March 14th, 15th. I got flight school, so I bring out 15 college quarterbacks, a few NFL guys to work with. Like, we only let 30 high school, middle school quarterbacks come out.
Yeah.
They get an opportunity just like to train with the top guys in the country.
Yeah. Where at?
Going to be at Loyola High School in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So flight school is the name of the camp?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I like that name. You know what I'm saying? The Tuskegee Airmen Flight School. We were just talking about that name. We saw it. It was like, I was like, these remind me of Tuskegee Airmen, the all the black, great black pilots, and that's what it's, you know. Yeah. That's what the feel I get from you is you coaching. You know, not saying that everybody's black that's coming to your camp, but it gives me that feeling of, you know what I'm saying? You on the right path of creating some good pilots. You know what I mean?
No doubt. No doubt.
Yes, sir.
What's your social media handle? Just let everybody know.
Instagram, at Quincy Avery. Twitter, at Quincy_Avery. So I'm easy to find. Just put in my name.
Got you. Well, hey, man, it's been a pleasure, brother. And like I said, we'll have to chop it up some more, man. And I appreciate you taking time to come on. And we'll definitely hook up again and stay in touch, brother.
All right, I appreciate it.
All right, Quincy. Yeah. Much love. Peace.
Sir.
That was good. He making a name for himself, man. He's getting big. He does a lot of Deshawn Watson. Like I said, he's coaching a lot of guys. Jordan Palmer hooked us up to him, and he's a new next and big thing, man. And he knows a buddy of mine, Ramon Robinson. Shout out to Ramon out in South Carolina, Greenville. He does a lot of things with quarterbacks, and coach a lot of those Clemson kids, and so there's a lot of private trainers out there that a lot of people know on the underworld of it. Right. But Stephen A. Smith, and all these other people ain't gonna know who he is. Right. People are. But Quincy is on ESPN. I mean, he's known. He's got all these NFL. Once you get NFL bodies underneath you, they're gonna have to say who's coaching you, and then obviously that's how George Whitfield made a name. That's how Jordan Palmer obviously played in the league, and then it's easy to transition, a little easier than it is for a guy like Quincy. But Quincy's made it. But he has dad coaching the NFL too. So. Right.
Maybe he get some of these XFL cats right, man. Yeah. I mean, that's another lane. That's why I keep talking about the XFL. It's another lane.
I'm gonna start coaching
cats like that.
I'm gonna start my shit up.
Why not?
I'm gonna start my shit up. But all coaches out there listening, I'm going to start a coaches clinic, an all-inclusive one, a nationwide tour. I'll be marketing that very soon, and I'll come to a school near you and clinic your staff, your staff, and
if you want a fucked up program, go ahead and sign up, man.
Yeah, if you want to win,
your job.
Call me up. I'll guarantee you 3 to 4 extra wins a year. But we're gonna be all inclusive. I'm gonna get after it. I'm gonna break down everything from recruiting to discipline, strength conditioning, you name it. I'm gonna start that up, and check out my website, therealcoachjb.com, and go on coachjbstore.com if you want some gear, and rock a Slapdick shirt like I'm wearing, or a hoodie like Spree's wearing, and we'll get after it, man. But episode 22 is in the Braps. We'll see you Friday with another special guest, and then we'll see you next week. Just me and Spree will be on Monday, and then we might have Charlie Ward on Wednesday, former Heisman Trophy winner, Florida State, New York Knicks point guard, and we'll discuss the structure.
Keep it coming. Tell your friends.
Can't beat our guest, fellas, just so you know. Slapdick Podcast in a Slapdick way.
Make sure you subscribe, man. All that.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm doing a giveaway, free shout-out video Friday, and a free book next week. For anyone that subscribes to our YouTube channel, screenshots me the proof, and then we're going to pick it Friday, and then I'll do a free video and a free signed book. So make sure you follow our YouTube channel and check us out. But for Spree and for me, we'll holler at you Friday. Peace.
Hope this ain't my last chance. It's the last chance for you. Last chance for me. Will I make it? Will I take it to the top? We gon' see. It's the last chance for you. Last chance for me. It's the last chance for you. Last chance for me. It's the last chance for you. Last chance for me. Will I make it? Will I take it to the top? We gon' see.